Hey there, this is Kimber Domke, mindful food and fitness coach, and today I'm coming to you from sunny LA with a little bit of stretching. Even though there's winds, even though there's a little bit of craziness around me, I am not letting myself be thwarted. I got rocks here on my towel, and we're about to get started with just a quick stretch that you can do anywhere and bring a little bit of mobility and refreshment to your day. Your mood can be lifted by stretching. I'm always amazed at my clients who tell me after a week of practicing just a couple stretches, they can put on their socks more easily and they start feeling just a little better in their body and throughout their day. So I'm just gonna start. And of course, don't worry if you're not a super flexible person. If you need to modify anything, that is absolutely cool. But we're just gonna start with our legs staggered and get a little bit of a thigh stretch happening. Just leaning back gently, feeling your hip press forward. And if you want, you can lean back a little further. You can feel free to hold these stretches for, if it really helps you, 30 seconds to 2 minutes. Or just go through some of them as more of a mobility exercise and you don't have to linger for quite as long. And then I'll pivot and get the other side. Taking in a little mountain view out in front of me. All right, and then an awesome thing, I love to throw this into classes to mix up a warm up or a cool down. So from this staggered leg position, you can just roll backwards onto your butt and then pivot to the opposing staggered position. The key here is to keep your feet on the ground, so you don't want to shuffle and scuffle your feet around, and then allow your thigh bone to go through its entire range of motion from an internally rotated position and externally rotated on the opposite leg to the opposing side. Now, if you want to advance this a little, I love this for working on posture and for working a little bit on the lower back and postural muscles, a little bit of abdominal muscles as well. I've used this one when I've been injured before. Now I've advanced it by keeping it hands-free. Maybe even pushing my hands behind the head. I'm trying to keep those feet down and spine uplifted. You can see I start to crunch down a little as I'm passing from one side to the other. Like here, and my goal is to just be a little more upright through those moments. So this will help your hips to open up. And you might find some tight spots as you're doing this. That would be normal. Even add a little bit of side bending in. A lot of my students just love side bending. That's one of their favorites. All right, so we started to mobilize the hips. Another one I absolutely love for some hip and knee and lower spine mobility is to just start kneeling with your knees together, your ankles together, and then have a little shift onto one side. So basically you're gonna sit down alongside your feet and ankles, use your hands at first if needed, and then get right back up to the center. So again, we're working on some hip mobility, translating this into our middle and lower spine, and just shifting from side to side. If you need padding for your knees, of course, pad it up under the knees. And then if you're a little more advanced, if you're like, oh, that was a piece of cake, here's how to advance it, right? So now I'm going hands-free, and I'm trying to really control the descent, really control the lift. Again, keeping great posture through the upper spine, And again, maybe I advance it with a little bit more activation of the posterior, the backside neck muscles by pressing head into hands and keeping that spine uplifted. So I'm getting a great bit of side bending here, as well as a little lateral hip stretch. You can also do it with the arms lifted. All right. Next up, we're going to tackle a little bit of straddling. So you could start this one with just a little bit of hamstring stretch. So bringing one knee to your inner thigh, hinging forward, and try this with a straight spine at first. So you just get a nice gentle lean forward. And then if flexibility permits, you can take it a bit further. I'm really trying to stretch out the spine. So on the inhales, I'm getting my spine super long. And on the exhales, I'm getting a little bit closer to the ground. Inhale again takes your spine a little longer. Exhale brings you closer down. Really trying to send the breath into the back and sides of the ribs. Let's tackle side two. So straightening out your opposite leg. Trying to square off the torso to face that leg. Sit up nice and tall. And then start hinging forward. First, I like to keep that straight spine. So I'm really isolating a bit of that hamstring a little more. I also feel a bit of stretch in my low back here. Right side QL, quadratus lumborum on the right side. And then I start to lengthen it. Sink down closer to leg and floor. Remember, those inhales give you the space, give you the stretch, and the exhales let you deepen, let you get rid of the air so you can deepen down. I'm feeling the breath go into my back and side ribs, so nice opening through the lower back, through the middle back. I'm also feeling a little bit of my thigh engagement here. So by engaging the thigh, I'm getting some enhanced stretch, some active release. All right, and moving into the straddle. So getting our inner thighs open a little bit here, as wide as you want to be. It's totally up to you. And then sitting up nice and tall. We'll start to hinge forward. So it might be just a little bit of a forward hinge. Your legs might be much narrower. It's totally cool. Wherever you're at, just go to feel the stretch. And try to make sure on this one that you feel your thigh bones and your kneecaps rolling backwards. So what I don't want to see so much of is the knees turning inward or the toes turning forward. So I'm aiming for that little bit of external rotation of the hip and thigh. You can even self-massage into this and yes, move those thigh bones back. And then if you want, if it feels good, I'm going to back up just a touch. You can start to hinge and fold forward. And I always find this one, I'm actually surprised by how much range I have when I take the time for it. When I force it too fast, it's no good. It does not feel great. My inner thighs feel like they're being torn apart. But if I take time, I'm always amazed by how low I personally can go, even though I don't do this super often. And again, the breath is so instrumental. So I'm just really focusing on spinning those thigh bones back and breathing nice and long into my spine and really trying to fill up the back and sides of the rib cage. Whatever it feels good to do with your arms, you can crawl them forward, you can take them sideways. also love to take a little extra spine mobility in this as well. Shifting from side to side, feeling more stretch through the side body and through the hip area. You can turn it also, getting more of that side body stretch. Feet point or flex, whatever feels good to you. The flex will get you a little more calf stretch. And then we're crawling around to side 2. Adding in that little bit of side bend if that feels good for you. And really trying to open the chest here, right? If you're going for this side bend, think of anchoring both of your sits bones, both butt cheeks heavy down on the ground. Opening nice and deep through the side. And after spending just a couple minutes here, my chest is basically on the ground where it was definitely not getting quite that low before. All right. Let's work just a little bit into our spinal mobility. So coming down onto the stomach, hands under shoulders or nearby. And we'll give ourselves a couple times just pressing up. What I love about this is to feel the abdominal stretch. So I really feel the front abdominal wall getting a huge stretch, and I'm conscious and cognizant that the shoulders are not earrings, that they're rolled down and back, and my neck feels super long. If you're sensitive in the lower back here, you might want to make this much smaller, and definitely keeping your core engaged will help to protect your lower back. So you don't have to make this too extreme. And then you can enjoy undulating up and down, waving through the spine. Using some strength in your arms to help support this, as well as the muscles of your back to help control the descent. So if you want to feel a little more work and activation of the back muscles, just think of using your hands less and using those tiny muscles around your spine a little bit more. To add on a little bit of twisting to this, you can bend your right elbow, turn the spine and head back. Come back through the center and then bend the left elbow a little to turn to the right, really spinning your head and neck around. Hear those Santa Ana winds kicking up. We actually had a power outage here last night. It was so intensely windy. Pieces of the palm trees came down, landed some on my balcony, some on the pool deck. All right, we're flipping onto our back now, and oftentimes the next couple ones I'm going to show you I have to do while I'm in bed, but today we're going to show them a little bit later in the series. So lying on your back, just knees simply bent, letting the knees fall to one side. You can hang out here for a few minutes or just a few seconds and feel that length of the spine and side body. And then rolling onto side 2, keeping the feet centered. Any arm position that you love is great here. All right, bringing both knees into the chest, curling up like a little ball. And breathe as much as you can into the sides of your waist and lower back. You can think also of anchoring your sacrum down. So playing with that idea of does it feel nice to curl the sacrum up, or is it nicer when the sacrum is fully down? What is the difference that you experience? Taking just one knee into the chest, drawing that knee into your armpit, drawing it across towards the opposite shoulder, and then maybe more directly across to deepen your spine twist. Always nice to turn your head in the opposing direction here. And going on to side two. Knee to same side armpit. Opposing side. And then deepening into that twist. Stretching your arm out if that feels good. All right, another great one to do in bed is the child's pose. So this one's so awesome if you feel stress in your lower back. So you can start with just a more mild version with your spine slightly rounded. Or you can even go a little deeper by sinking your chest and body more towards the legs. With the width of the knees. So how is it if your knees are more narrowed together? Or how does it feel different if your knees are closer to shoulder width apart? Also awesome to add a little bit of that extra side body and side lower back stretch by walking the hands to the left. And then taking the hands over to the right to feel that left side body stretch. All right, coming up to kneeling, we're gonna do a little bit more thigh stretch here. So first, keeping your spine in one long line and just a super gentle hinge back to feel a nice stretch in the front of hip and thigh. If you sense this in your knees or in your lower back, stop and realign yourself. Make your spine really straight from head to knee. And also remember to get a little bit more active through your inner thigh. So inner thigh activation is gonna help to reduce any knee stress or lower back stress. You can go further, of course, and you can also take it into a little more of a camel posture by arching in your upper spine, but keeping your lower belly pulled in and the glutes active. Great one for chest opening here. You can try it with your toenails down, or for a little easier reach to your heels, if this is accessible to you, try it with your toes tucked under. All right, coming down on our stomach, one more that I love. You can do this with arms wide to the side or just near you if your shoulders are a little more sensitive. We're gonna bend the right knee, lift the leg up, and dip it. Oh my gosh, I dipped it in the pool. Got it in the water there. And then return down. Keep your chest on the ground, and then lift the thigh and spin your lower spine. Again, bend the knee, lift the thigh up, get the knee towards the ceiling. You have a dip if you're next to a pool. All right, we'll finish off with just a quick cat-cow. So rounding the spine and letting a giant arch come into the spine. You can add your toes tucking under if you like, or keep toenails down, or go back and forth. Really think of pressing into your hands here to enhance the rounding of the spine. Do a little shifting if that feels good. All right. Thank you so much for watching. And that was a really lengthy stretch, but take bits and pieces of whatever you need and bring a little bit more mobility to your day. Thank you so much for watching. This has been Kimber Domke, Mindful Food and Fitness Coach, encouraging you to stay mobile. And for more email updates, head on over to my website, kimberdomke.com, and don't hesitate to reach out, subscribe, or leave a comment below. Thanks for watching. Have an amazing day and wishing you well wherever you may be.